And welcome back to our next edition of Thursday Thoughts. Today we're talking about 19 years later, what is haunting you? The anniversary of 9/11. Here's from a newspaper. In 2001, American Airlines Flight 11 and United Airlines Flight 175 were hijacked by terrorists and intentionally crashed into the north and south towers of the World Trade Center. Of those who perished during the initial attacks and the subsequent collapses of the towers, 343 were New York City firefighters, 23 were New York City police officers, and 37 were officers at the Port Authority. The victims ranged in from age 2 to 85 years. Approximately 75 to 80% of the victims were men. A total of 2,977 people were killed in New York City, Washington, D.C., and outside Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Not only did this heinous crime against the United States of America rock our nation, but it also steamrolled the world. In a matter of minutes, it ricocheted to all ends of the earth. September 11, 2001 started out as a normal day. The kids were up and getting ready for school. I was listening to the national news as I was preparing their breakfast. Suddenly, the usual news programming was abruptly interrupted with breaking news of the two planes hitting the World Trade Center. Over and over and over again, news stations showed the planes tearing through steel and glass, the plumes of smoke rising to the sky, and the citizens, firefighters, and police officers becoming covered in dust and rubble. I felt like I was watching a horror movie. When the kid's father realized what was going on, he rounded them up and had them sit and watch the news. He wanted them to see history in the making. My children were 9, 7, and 4 years old. They were told to stay and watch the replays time and time and time again. The live commentary was intense and emotionally charged. I finally said, enough. They did not need more exposure to something they did not understand, and yet were being pulled into the negative energy. Many years later, I wondered if this would cause PTSD. As a nation, we mourned and still mourn as a collective over this atrocity. We were violated, betrayed, and showed our vulnerability. Now we came to support the citizens, firefighters, and first responders. In times of trouble, our great nation came together. Now, for those who lost husbands, wives, sons, and daughters, friends, co-workers, and so much more, their pain is the true anguish as a result of this horrible tragedy. Each year, whether they like it or not, their loss is brought into the limelight. They cannot escape the publicity even if they want. My heart goes out to them, for their mourning is part of the nation's mourning. Some have moved away while others have stayed. September 11, 2001 is the day 3 planes crashed into the World Trade Center towers and the Pentagon. As a result of those planes hitting those buildings, we've taken a tragedy and given its purpose. 9/11 is the National Day of Service and Recognition. As the National Day of Service and Recognition approaches, what can we do to show our support for not only for those who suffered loss 19 years ago, but those around who are struggling? We have the opportunity every day to make a difference. Be compassionate to all. Make it a habit of showing kindness every day. The more you give, the more you receive. At 8:46 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, take a moment of silence on 9/11 and reflect on those who have lost. Say a little prayer to God or your higher power for healing. They could be a child who watched too many instant replays or lost a parent, child, or sibling. Fly your American flag at half-mast to honor and respect those who fell. Doing so reminds us of our great country and the freedoms we do have. Do a random act of kindness. It's like giving a secret present, like from Secret Santa. Nobody knows who it is from, but sure, it makes someone's day. We do just not know what is going on in someone's life. They could be experiencing their own loss. You never know who you're helping. As the Nike commercial says, just do it.